Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to Tuesdays with Terry. My name is Terry. I'm talking to you live from Austin, Texas, where the sun is hot, the barbecue is sweet, and all the drinks are free when you hang out with this guy right here. Yeah, for sure. Hey, welcome to Tuesday with Terry. I want to share some ideas and thoughts with you about how to build the dream team. I talk a lot about the 5 Ps, the people, the process, the product, the promotion, the pricing. And I really want to focus just a second here on the people piece of it because, and I'm going to use Orange Theory Fitness. Many of you know I'm with Orange Theory Fitness. I've been in the fitness business for 30 plus years. But, you know, what I have found is there are no broken clubs out there. There are no broken clubs. As a matter of fact, our studios in Arizona and Pennsylvania look almost identical. They have the same treadmills. They have the same TRXs. They got the same rowers. We run the same fitness template. But why do the stores in Pennsylvania do better than one? You know, why do some businesses do better than other businesses when they are almost exactly the same? And what I would tell you, it usually comes down to 2 things. It usually comes down to the people and it comes down to the process. So what I really want to talk a little bit about today are the people. And do you have the right people around you? I can't tell you, you know, most of the times when we see a studio that's not performing, it has to do with the people. And so I want you to think a minute is about your team. If you're a manager, if you're a leader, if you're a director, if you're in a situation for leadership and you've got direct reports, I would just ask you a couple questions. Number 1 is, do you have the right people around you in order to win? And I don't know what winning is for you. Winning could be customer acquisition. Winning could be revenue. Winning could be sales. I don't know what it is for your business, but do you have the right people around you? And you say, well, Terry, I'm not sure. Some I like, some I don't like. Some perform better than others. Some don't perform. Well, let me help you out real quick. Take a look at your team and your direct reports, and I want you to rank them from top to bottom. This is the person that's, and you go, well, what criteria do you want me to use? Forget about that for a second. Just in terms of how you view that person, who's the most important one in the organization to you right now? Who's the second most? Who's the third most? Who's the fourth most? 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever the number of people it is. And now go back to that ranking from top to bottom and look at the top person and say, what are the skill sets and what does this person possess or do that makes that person the top? Write it down. Then go down to the bottom 2 people and say, what is it about these 2 people that they do or they possess or they don't do or they don't possess, whether it's competency or skill level, that make them at the bottom of the list? And if you can identify what it is that makes top people, and bottom people, and you can identify what the profile is of the top 2, 3, or 4 people in your organization or your direct reports, can you create a profile? Can you create a training program? Can you create core competencies that say, if these guys do this, and these guys know this, and these guys are accountable and take action like this, and they communicate like this, then can I teach the people at the lower levels of my work, not the lower levels of your organization, but the people that you ranked lower, can you teach them those things? And if you can, then do it. If you can't, and they don't have the ability to learn that, then you're going to have to make a decision. You either have to train them or you got to trade them. And nobody wants to get traded. Nobody likes trading people. We give people the benefit of the doubt. But too many times when we have teams, we have situations that we hope, I'm going to say it again, we hope that they work out. And yet week after week and month after month, their performance is not at the level. And in my business, it's a performance-based business. And when people don't perform, we begin to see lack of performance. And then we either accept it or we don't accept it. And if we accept it, we accept mediocrity. And then all of a sudden there becomes no consequences for non-performance. I pulled my team together the other day and I said, when's the last time we made a decision to let somebody go or to move on because of non-performance? Wow. Think about that for your organization. Now, we've made decisions about people because of bad behavior, But what about if they really have good behavior, but they're simply not performing? They're not hitting the required KPIs, the key performance indicators. They're not hitting the required actionable items on a daily basis, weekly basis, and that turns into a good month or a bad month. What happens when that's not happening? Anything? Or do we sit back and say, man, I hope they're going to do better next month? And then next month turns into 2 months and 3 months and 4 months. And here you are 6 months, halfway through the year. And we're going, we can't understand how come this studio's not growing. How come this business is not growing? And again, my point is you've got to identify what is the profile of a top performer, what's the profile of a underperformer. You've got to identify the skill sets and the competency levels, and can you teach the underperformers? And then the hard decision is you have to train them and give them a window to perform, or you must trade them. You've got to get them off the team, and you've got to replace them with somebody that has higher competency, higher accountability, higher trust issues, better communication skills. You've got to stop working with people that you hope are going to work out. Early on, when you first hire them, absolutely. Give them the benefit of the doubt and give them a training program, get them on board and get them going. But if they've been with you for a year, if they've been with you for 6 months, they've been with you for 3 months, isn't it time? I mean, the first month, nobody knows what's going on. I don't know where to sit. I don't know how to answer the phones. I don't know how to do the job. The second month, they get some kind of an understanding and competency levels. And in the third month, they should begin to start clicking. And they should be having moments where they are cracking the code. They're having breakthroughs and they're finding successes in those key performance or those levers that we want them to pull to have better performance, better financial performance, better relationship performance, all the pieces. Leave those emotions at the door. Remember, take your time in hiring somebody. But when it's not working, when they are not performing, you talk about it, you write it up, you document it, and you give them a window to improve performance, and you help them and you encourage them and you train them. But at the end of the time, they have either done it or they have not. It's an A or it's an F. It's not a B. It's not a C. You did it 3 days out of 5. You did it 2 days out of 5. No, it's an A. You did it or you did not. Did we get the desired results, or we are not getting the desired results? Maybe they don't have the bandwidth. Maybe they don't have the ability to increase their scope. Maybe they're, maybe they'll never be that, or maybe they won't be that today. And they need a little bit more time doing a few other things to get some wins in their column. Their confidence gets back up, and then they can come back and attack it another time. I've done this many times, by the way. I've taken people who have been in leadership positions, and I've asked them to step back and step down. And I use the illustration of baseball. When you got a pitcher in the major leagues and they're not pitching well, what do? They go back to the minors. And they practice in the minors and they work on their craft and they get coaching and they get some wins and they get their confidence back up. And then what do? We pull them out of the minors and bring them back up to the majors. And they begin to pitch again and they have their confidence. You got to bend sometimes before you jump. And sometimes that's the way it is with people. They need to bend or take a brief step, perfecting their skills, perfecting their craft before they can step back into a leadership position, get a fresh start, and go at it again. If people in your direct report line or in your group of that you're overseeing, you're hoping and you're accepting mediocrity, you need to take a second look at that and repeat what I just went through here in the last 7 or 8 minutes. Take a real hard look at that, get a good game plan around that, and focus on performance management. This guy might be the most likable guy or the most likable woman in the world, but are they performing? Are they performing? Find out what those 5 or 6 key performance indicators are for your business and make sure people are performing. You want to build a dream team, you got to focus on the people, find out who's hot, who's not. Don't accept mediocrity, get a good game plan, train them or trade them, and find the right team. Find the people that you can build your business around and then add to it and increase the number of competent people that you have that can take action and can improve the business. My name's Terry. Thanks for listening in to Tuesday with Terry, and we'll see you next week.